everyone, it's Loza from the Baking Mad Gym Addict. Check out what I made! This is a scrumptious passion fruit cheesecake which I've made with some really nice healthy ingredients. This cheesecake has a crunchy sweet base with a creamy and tart passion fruity topping. Passion fruits are a type of sweet tropical fruit with an orangey yellow pulp with edible black seeds. The middle of the cheesecake has quite a rich and velvety kind of texture to it, kind of like a really yummy fudge-like consistency. I'm excited, you're probably excited too, so let's just get on with it. All my recipes are in the description box, so no need to take notes, just sit back and enjoy the video. For the base, I'm using 3 cups of raw almonds, which is 390 grams. I'm using half a cup of raw buckwheat, which is 100 grams. I added raw buckwheat because I wanted an extra crunch to the base, but feel free to swap the raw buckwheat for some almonds instead. I also used 3/4 of a cup of coconut shreds, which is 60 grams, and 3 tablespoons of maca powder. I take these ingredients and plop them into my high-speed Vitamix blender. You can also use a food processor. I blitz everything together until it looks like crumbs. Once everything is all bashed up, I pop it into a bowl. Next, you'll need some sweet medjool dates. I used about 28 dates, which weighed 450 grams. Remember to remove the hard seeds from the medjool dates so that nobody loses a tooth while biting into your cheesecake. You'll also need about a 1/3 cup of coconut oil, which is 60 milliliters. I blend the dates and coconut oil to form a super sweet decadent paste, which I use to massage and rub into the crumbly mixture I made earlier. Once everything is thoroughly combined, spread and press your cheesecake base into a tin. Here I'm using a springform cake tin with a removable base, which just makes life a heck of a lot easier. This one has a diameter of 9 inches, which is 23 centimeters. I line the tin with some baking paper, which is the same as parchment paper if you're watching this in the US of A. You can choose to make small mini cheesecakes if you have a small muffin tray. Again, I like to line the tray with baking paper in a crisscross shape so that it's easier to lift out when the cheesecake is ready. Next, we move on to the cheesecake topping. You'll need 2 cups of cashew nuts which have been soaked in water overnight or at least 8 hours, but ain't nobody got time for that, so I just poured boiling hot water over the cashew nuts instead and just let it soak for 1 hour before draining them. Soaking the cashew nuts will make them plump and moist and helps to remove the enzyme inhibitors which will activate the full nutrient potential of each nut. For the filling, you're also going to need about a dozen passion fruits. It really depends on how juicy, sweet and ripe they are. I think I actually used about 15 passion fruits in the end to get the flavour I wanted. You'll also need some coconut oil because this helps to solidify the cheesecake. To flavour the cheesecake filling, I used honey, vanilla extract and some fresh lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons of each. Just taste what you've made and decide whether or not you need to tweak it to suit your taste palette. Once you've spooned out all the delicious fruity pulp from your passion fruits into a bowl and flavoured it with your lemon juice, vanilla and honey, grab your soaked cashews and drain out the water before rinsing them. Then it's just a matter of whizzing everything together in your food processor or high-speed blender. I was worried I would kill my blender, and so I actually blended the passion fruit mixture and the cashew nuts separately so that I didn't overexert my Vitamix blender or trigger the safety switch. Once your cashews and passion fruit mixture are thoroughly combined, give it a taste test to see if you need to sweeten it a bit more. All you have to do then is spoon the cheesecake filling on top of your base and spread it out. For a pretty effect, I decorated it with some fresh raspberries and sprinkled it with some yummy organic cacao crackle, which you'll recognise from my last video about snacks. I've put the link to that snack video in the description box below. Once you've decorated your cheesecake, cover it with plastic wrap and freeze it for around 4 to 6 hours until it's nice and hard. When you're ready to serve the cheesecake, just pop it out of the tins. This should be an absolute doddle if you've lined them with baking paper and used a springform pan. I personally like eating this when it's a bit frozen, but you can thaw it at room temperature for around 15 to 20 minutes or so if you prefer. This should keep in the freezer for around 2 weeks. This sexy looking cheesecake will make a wonderful centerpiece to your next dinner party. Remember that even though healthy ingredients are used in this recipe, do not go overboard and eat the whole thing at once, because even though it's jam-packed with lots of nutrition, it can be quite a high-calorie treat if you eat too much of it. But that's okay, because even the smallest slice of this cheesecake can be deliciously satisfying. And Bob's your uncle, you have a healthified passion fruit cheesecake. Enjoy every mouthful, I know I certainly did. Because this cheesecake can be quite moreish, to stop myself from going overboard and eating more than my body needs, I actually like to brush my teeth after eating it to signal to myself that dessert time is over. That's a cheeky tip I like to do to help keep me in check. And believe you me, I do need to be kept in check when it comes to dessert time. You can experiment with your cheesecake to make different shapes and sizes. On another time I made this cheesecake, I put it in a square tin and made little mini cheesecake bites. You can also see here that I used a heap of blueberries to decorate on top, which is really super tasty. Anyway, thanks for spending time with me. Please check out my Facebook page and Instagram if you have the time, and please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. See you guys soon. Bye!